Welcome back, everyone. Again, tonight we'll take you to Bakassi local government area, one of Nigeria's richest oil gulfs, located south of Cross River State. Bakassi Peninsula that was ceded to Cameroon as a result of the judgments by the International Court of Justice. It is, however, worthy to mention that the Nigerian Senate rejected the transfer since the Green Tree Agreement ceding the area to Cameroon was contrary to Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution. Regardless, the territory was ceded to Cameroon. Now, indigenes of Bakassi are calling on the federal government to come to their aid. They want President Bola Tinubu to mandate the National Assembly to immediately delete Bakassi from the list of the 774 local government areas recognized by Nigeria. In all this, where does Bakassi really belong? Is it Nigeria or Cameroon? What is the fate of the people of that area? Well, tonight, to answer all these questions and more, I'm joined by Florence Ita-Giwa, former senator representing Cross River South Senatorial District and former advisor to the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, on legislative matters. Good evening to you, Senator. Thank you so much for joining us on Politics Tonight. It's been a week since I had this conversation with Mr. Obunoble, a lawyer representing the people of Bakassi. There's been a lot of reactions since that conversation happened. And overall, Nigerians are asking why we should still be having this conversation. This is 2025, 17 years after the people of Bakassi are still displaced. First, how did we get here?
How did we get there? It's a very, very long story. So I don't know if we have enough time, to talk about it. But I'm going to try and make it as short as possible in view of the fact that we don't have more time. For me, the struggle for Bakassi started when I didn't even think I'll go into politics. You understand? It's something that I kind of inherited from my father, because he retired and went to live there and started the struggle with the gendarmes. So cut a long story short, eventually I grew up, I went to House of Rep, and at the end of it, when we were sent away by the military, all of a sudden I started getting information that they were changing names of Bakassi villages to Cameroonian names. That's when, it was like an alert that something worse is going to happen. So I now started talking about it, and that's when my advocacy started as far back as, and I'm talking about maybe 33 years ago, long before I got to Senate, So along with others, it's been a long, long struggle. Something that I thought, there's sometimes you live in denial. I said, no, this cannot happen, and yet it is happening. So at the end of the day, there was so much pressure at that time. We were much younger. A lot of other young people from there joined me. At that time, we had not even started talking about seeding. Through the help, God bless her, of Mrs. Abacha, I even managed to take the case as a young lady to the attention. And then, quite a long story short, when the Constitution Conference of Abacha came up, I was invited as a delegate. And I believe that that was a platform for me to use to, propagate our case, which I did along with Chief Tony Ani, was very, very supported. Emmanuel San, Dr. Emmanuel San. So many people came together and we fought that battle. So and Abacha created that Bakassi local government area. But at that time, the Cameroon government had taken Nigeria to court. You understand? But he did not subject himself to that jurisdiction. You understand? He ignored it. And we continue. We're very happy that a local government was created. And we are in Nigeria, and then we started all the processes that, any local government in Nigeria would enjoy. Unfortunately, after Abacha died, the case came up because, excuse me, I have a bad voice. Because somehow Bakassi people really appreciate what Abacha did. Abacha gave us the local government, Abacha gave us the dignity that at least whatever is left of that we have today. You know, so, but unfortunately Abacha died and the Cameroon government brought up the case. In fact, they had passed judgments. As a matter of fact, this is very serious. They had passed, because we did not subject ourselves to that jurisdiction. Nobody, when nothing happened. So they initially passed judgment, and but by the time Nigeria joined, they had made up their mind, as far as I'm concerned. You know, so that area, they passed judgment that the area actually belongs to Cameroon because they were very, very antagonistic. They felt that it was a military junta, and you know, military junta, they can do what they like. So they dismissed our defense.
So the people of Bakassi have been displaced since then?
Since then, you know, I mean, judgment came when my boss, you know, Obasanjo came. The matter came up again quite seriously. And this time was about implementation of the judgments. You understand? And I believe that he tried his best. I went to so many meetings with him. So many meetings with him. With the president of Cameroon there. And Kofi Annan tried his best. You know, at some point, Obasanjo tried, made efforts in actually to buy back because the situation was bad. In the court of law, we had lost the case. So he tried buyback, it didn't work. So in the end, you know, he had to allow, you know, the seeding to take place. But now, you know, when people talk about what people did and what people didn't do, after the, you know, the seeding, and after some time, we found out that there was a window where Nigeria can actually go and appeal. There was actually a window. So we started talking about that window for Nigeria to take advantage of that window to appeal. Nobody answered. In my state, because at that time, we hadn't lost the oil wells. So before we lost the oil wells, because I know that apart from even the people suffering, the seeding was going to affect Cross River State tremendously economically. You understand? It would, you know, because the oil well, when it's taken away, of course, what is left?
Absolutely.
Then nothing is left. So we started demonstration. I mean, if you look through the images I sent to you, you'll see where we went on the street to demonstrate. Asking Nigerian government to revisit, to take advantage of that window, to revisit the case, to appeal.
So the government at that time did not?
Did not, you know, because yes, in my state, it did not, and in Nigeria, it did not. You understand? We talked about it, we called person we made, you know, did not at that time.